Rollout of the updates in the Microsoft 365 environment could be a little scary, but learn how to grant users early access to the new features in the Office 365. New functionalities and updates are rolled out to the Microsoft 365 almost on the daily basis. Every week new features are delivered to your applications in the Office 365. It's quite difficult to stay on top of what's happening, but at the same time it's good to take a look on these features as soon as possible, at least to some people in the organization, to spread that idea. I could imagine that providing early access to the new functionalities, new features or changes in the Microsoft 365 applications to the service desk team, IT team or early adopters in the Champions program could be something that will help to spread the information, knowledge and understanding of the new functionalities that will be provided for the Microsoft 365 applications. In this video I would like to present you how this model in general works and how you can grant early access to the new functionalities and new features for dedicated group of users in your organization. I will show you how to set that kind of access on the tenant level, so for all applications that are available there, plus how to get additional public preview features in the Microsoft Teams for this group of users. And as always, I want to ask you for the support for this video and the channel. If you like this video, leave the thumbs up. If you want to get the notifications, please subscribe. So now I will tell you more how the rollout of the new functionalities in the Microsoft 365 works, and then I will switch to my screen and show you how to grant early access to these features for dedicated group of users. And before we will move forward, let's stop for a moment to discuss how this rollout model works in general. So you can remember in the past where we still were working on the servers, every 3 years we had the new rollout of the Exchange, SharePoint or Skype for Business server, which brings totally new architecture, a lot of new functionalities, massive changes. That was huge change every 3 years. Right now, the current approach is that we have huge platform that contains multiple applications, and in agile approach we get the new features per app in general monthly release. As a result of that model, we get a lot of small updates, changes and improvements during the time. And because of the massive complexity of all applications we have in the Microsoft 365, number of these updates is quite huge. But before we will get to the point that you can see the new functionality, change or new feature in your Microsoft 365 application, every change or every update need to go through the specific release plan, specific lifecycle that is presented by Microsoft as a multiple rings. So rings from 0 to 3, which you can see on the screen, these are the times where feature is still under development. At first in the feature team, so imagine specific Microsoft Teams developers who are working to improve some functionality, then it is spread to the whole Office team in the Microsoft, and then to the Microsoft employee whole organization in general. This is also some kind of beta testing phase, and because all these functionalities are much smaller, it's easier to get through this process in time. And after that point, this functionality, this change, this update will be rolled out to the consumers, customers of the Microsoft 365 in 2 release phases. First is a target release, so almost immediately you will get the features that are rolled out and ready to be used. And then standard worldwide release, which is just delayed for 3 or 1 month after the feature is delivered for the target release. In general, there's no additional changes between target release and standard release, so main idea behind it is to delay availability of these new features to give the organization possibility to prepare. And one side comment from my side: most of organizations have no resources to do proper preparation of such thing, and it's very difficult to prepare any kind of adoption materials or trainings based on the number of the changes and features that are every month provided to the Microsoft 365. At the same time, I highly recommend to at least have early adopters in the organizations that will have access to that kind of changes and updates as soon as possible to get the better understanding of them. It could be help desk that supports end users, it could be IT team in general who working mostly in the technology area, or any kind of adoption champions that could help to spread this idea across the organization. Of course, this will not be probably something that will guarantee that every feature will be well known, but still it will help to adapt the new changes with the end users. And one more comment: between the second and third ring, so between the Microsoft and the customers, there could be few steps or few types of release how the features could be released. It could be private preview, public preview, and then global availability. Global availability is the moment where the feature is ready to work with the business users on the enterprise level. Public preview, it is the point where the feature is still during the development, so it could be buggy, there's no SLA, there's no support, and from time to time that kind of feature could be deprecated. At this point, this is very rare situation, but in private preview, you should assume that this is alpha testing, beta testing of the functionality that could land in the Microsoft 365 or could be abandoned during that process. This is quite important because today I will let you know how to set up the target release, so early access to the new functionalities that are globally available, but also I will show you how to set up public preview features for early adopters in the organization for the Microsoft Teams. These two changes could help you to have better knowledge, better understanding in the organization about new functionalities that will be rolled out to the Microsoft 365. At first step, let's try to see what kind of updates you get to Microsoft 365 and how to monitor informations about the new changes that will be provided to your environment. Open Microsoft 365 Admin Center, then go to Help section and select something called Message Center. If you will open this space, you will find the information about the new rollout, new changes, new functionalities or deprecated features in the area of the Microsoft 365, and you can see how many updates are listed in here. This is huge list of 215 items at the moment, and thankfully user interface is improved. You can filter the results based on the service that you are interested in, so we can select SharePoint Online, and moreover you can select the tag, so what kind of change will be delivered to the Microsoft 365, like feature update. And here these are the feature updates that are currently on the Microsoft roadmap and will be released soon to your environment. If you want to stay on top of the most current information, take a look on the Message Center, but again, you can see in total this is 250 updates. Moreover, every update contains quite detailed information in it. It is huge amount of information, and there is good chance that probably you will not have time to review it every month. So what I'm proposing in such a situation, try to build early adopters group in your organization and let them try the features first. So the first thing you can do to improve the availability of the new functionalities is to switch from standard release to target release for whole organization or for just the group of nominated users. To do that, open again Microsoft 365 Admin Center, go to settings and then to the organization settings, select organization profile on top and search for something called release preferences. In the new tab, you will have the possibility to select how soon updates will be rolled out to users across your organization. It could be for everyone in the organization or for the specific group of users. In such a case, you can select the users who will be nominated to get access to the new functionalities in the target release, so sooner than everyone else. As you can see, we can paste the usernames here or upload the Excel list. Hopefully there will be in the future possibility also to use here security AD group. Remember, when you will switch from standard release to target release, it could take about 48 hours to that change will be implemented in your organization, so don't be surprised you need to wait for it a little. Another element I want to propose is setting up the Microsoft Teams and possibility to use public preview features for the early adopters in the organization. Remember, that kind of features will be something that could be still a little buggy. It's not the final version, it's still around the testing phase, but I can imagine that you want to push that kind of features as soon as possible to some early adopters. And to do that, go to Teams and Teams update policies and create the new policy called public preview features. In this case, you will be able to select if the show preview features will be enabled or not. If you will enable it, then you can assign users for this specific policy. As soon as you will apply this update, in around hour, your users will have the possibility to use public preview features, but they will need to switch Microsoft Teams to that mode. So let's take a look how to do that in the Microsoft Teams app. In the Microsoft Teams applications, user will need to go for the About section on top of the screen and then enable public preview features, and then all new released functionalities that are still at public preview stage available early to the end users assigned as early adopters. You can see setup of early access to the new features is not that difficult, but still focus about how to and who should be nominated to such a group. I highly recommend you to, at the worst case, just include IT team there, but still additional business engagement will be also very useful for your organization. I hope this video will encourage you to change something in your organization if you does not have early access to the new functionalities at all. If you will not have the group of early adopters, to be fair, my recommendation is to go with the target release and bring the new goodness from Microsoft as soon as possible to the end users. But if there's a chance to nominate any kind of early adopters, grant them early access to new functionalities, to updates, let them play with it, and then deliver that kind of changes in the second wave to the rest of the organization. Play with it, discuss that internally, and figure out the best approach that will work for your company. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.